Guess what I just got back from? That's right, baby. Hoaxathon 2023, the convention all about pranks, bamboozles, hoodwinks, and pulling on every attendee's leg. I've gone every single year of my life, even the years they allegedly canceled. This year's convention was especially fun. I learned so much! It made me want to try and make a hoax of my own! In fact, I actually already have. Because it wasn't Hoaxathon 2023 I went to. It was actually Hoaxathon 2022! Ha! Got you! Can't believe you fell for that! Oh, you must be so embarrassed! Woo! Fine, I'm still working on it, okay?
Video games are fascinating little buggers. They get so much work put into them from huge groups of people who pay such close attention to detail and pour their heart and soul into a project and take countless hours to make it the best it could be, only for it to get completely overshadowed by something that isn't even real.
Hey, you can call me gullible all you want, and that may be true, and I may believe everything I see on the internet.
For pretty much as long as video games have existed, there have been people that just spew information and fake rumors all over the place. Even going back to Super Mario Bros., there was a rumor going around there was a supposed chocolate factory level in the game, all thanks to something written in one of the How to Win at Nintendo Games books. It's stuff like that, the fake news that seems like it could be real just because the person presenting the information goes,
yeah, this is totally legit. My uncle's sister's nephew's best friend's dad works at Nintendo, and also I woke up this morning and it was carved into my forearm.
Hoaxes are the name of the game here. Any sort of fake information attempted to be passed off as legitimate for the sole reason of it being funny.
Sure, let's go with that.
Hoaxes are a strange phenomenon in the realm of video games because sometimes there are just so many at once and they can range so wildly in quality and believability. You just get a bunch of people making fake leaks or whatever because they want to get that sweet little bit of attention for just a few seconds. And I think there are two series that perfectly illustrate this point: Pokémon and Super Smash Bros. With every new generation of Pokémon announced, there comes a wave of people posting supposedly new Pokémon, or new forms of old Pokémon, or new evolutions for old Pokémon, or new evolutions for new Pokémon. You get the idea. Although nowadays that seems to be less of the case, which is probably because people have just gotten smarter.
Ha!
And also, people just make fake Pokemon all the time, even without the context of a new game coming. Like, there are just some people who make up concepts for new Pokemon, regions, and even entire games in their free time. So it's almost as if people have just become desensitized to seeing new fake Pokemon stuff. But back in the days of generations 4, 5, and 6, there were a lot more so-called leaks going around of new Pokemon, most of which were designed to look like magazine scans or something. But even still, I don't know, there's just something so interesting to me about seeing fake Pokemon designs. I think when people just show off their concepts for what new Pokemon or evolutions could look like, it's just a lot of fun. However, it's weird and slightly annoying when people try to pretend their designs are official. And then there's Super Smash Bros., arguably the series that has the most speculation around it when a new entry is announced. And since new characters are all anyone cares about with a new Smash game, that's what the majority of hoaxes surrounding the series involve. For example, one of the most popular Smash hoaxes was centered around Sonic the Hedgehog and his appearance in Super Smash Bros. Melee.
That's the most absurd thing I've heard all day, and I was literally just at a convention dedicated to people making absurd claims.
Electronic Gaming Monthly made an April Fool's joke about being able to unlock Sonic and Tails in Smash Melee, and while these screenshots can be passed pretty easily as fake nowadays, back in 2002 people didn't know any better. In all fairness, I probably would have fallen for this back in 2002, which is impressive because I wasn't even conceived back then. On top of that, you have stuff like the Rayman in Smash 4 hoax, which was just a really well-made original render of the character photoshopped in the game. Or those Mii costumes that everyone thought was real for Smash Ultimate because Ken was doing the thumbs-up taunt.
These are not the only examples of this, by the way. There are plenty of other smaller-scale hoaxes like this for plenty of other topics. Like, you could just be minding your own business, and then, oh, son of a bitch, you see what I mean?
Much like video games themselves, video game consoles aren't safe from fake news either. Nintendo definitely gets more fake console mock-ups compared to PlayStation and Xbox, considering Nintendo's consoles are always more out there. However, I will say I remember seeing this apparent leak for the PlayStation 5 design. It was real.
Say what you want about the design of this behemoth, but at least we didn't get that.
I mean, sure, it's just the development kit, but still. But then we have fake Nintendo consoles, some of the more infamous being the Nintendo On and Nintendo XDS. Nintendo On was stated to be a Nintendo virtual reality platform. In 2005.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Don't get me wrong, this is a very well made and professional looking video, especially by 2005 standards, but also, I mean, do you really expect me to believe Nintendo worked on a dedicated VR platform? The last time they tried this, it did not go over too well. Then we have the Nintendo XDS, which was a video that popped up in 2015, which was around the same time the rumors were started about Nintendo's next console after the Wii U. This concept proposed the improbable love child between the 3DS and Wii U, basically allowing you to play your Wii U games 100% portably. I actually remember seeing this back in the day and thought it was the coolest shit ever, and also definitely thought it was real.
In my defense, I was like 12, and also going to Hoaxathon every year really makes you more susceptible to bullshit.
The one other thing I'll mention about console hoaxes is that they're not very common. It's just not very easy to make a high-quality, professional-looking hoax for a new console. The only reason people make them anyways is to say, oh man, look at this! Could you imagine if a console looked like this? And nothing more than that.
Of course, there are also the hoaxes that get a lot of attention just for simply being incredibly well made.
Take, for example, Super Mario Galaxy DS. Back in 2007, a video surfaced showing off a supposed port of Super Mario Galaxy to the Nintendo DS. This just looks insane! The visuals, the music, everything about this looks exactly like what Mario Galaxy would look like on the DS, and it was fake, imagine that. It was created by Pablo Belmonte as a school project to create a viral video, and I mean, taking that into consideration, this is just insanely impressive. Everything in this video was made entirely from scratch by Pablo, and keep in mind, this was before Mario Galaxy even released, so all I had to go off of was trailers and stuff, which just makes this even more impressive. Pablo is actually behind a couple other rather infamous hoaxes, such as the previously mentioned Nintendo On. Also, I wanted to bring attention to this fake leak for Super Mario Odyssey DLC featuring Isle Delfino from Mario Sunshine. Mainly because when this initially showed up, everybody lost their damn minds over it. So much speculation over whether it was real or fake, and it's literally an 8-second clip. Obviously, it turned out to be fake, however, much like with the Galaxy DS hoax, this is very well made. Obviously, they're not quite on the same level because, one, again, it's an 8-second clip, and two, as many people pointed out, Mario doesn't actually move around in this clip, which is a problem a lot of fake gameplay hoaxes face, actually. But ignoring all that and just focusing on the visuals, this actually looks really good and on par with Odyssey's visuals.
And all of this talk about fake leaks is to say, what the f*** are any of you doing?
Listen, I've shared my opinion on fake news before, and they most certainly have not changed. It's dumb, it wastes everyone's time, nobody benefits from it, and all it does is give the fake leaker some temporary internet points. I understand just wanting to show off your ideas as a fan, and there most certainly is nothing wrong with that, but there's that, and then there's trying to pass your fan-made stuff off as legitimate, and that's where we start running into problems.
And look, I stand by all of that, but also, there comes a point where a hoax stops being a lame Photoshop by a bored kid and starts gaining a cult following, and those have a certain charm to them.
These can more so be considered urban legends at this point. They got a similar start to any other hoax I've mentioned, but they've been completely proven to be false. The only reason they're still talked about nowadays is, I don't know, it's just fun to have little mysteries to theorize about, even if everyone already knows they're not real. Take, for example, Super Mario 64 with one of the most infamous hoaxes in all of video games. See, if you go into the back courtyard of Peach's castle, there's a star statue, and on it there's a plaque that reads, L is real, 2401.
Well, what do you mean you don't see it? It's right there. It literally says!
The plaque actually doesn't say anything at all. It's just a random jumble of pixels. It's the exact same idea for when you just write squiggly lines as word placeholders. However, back when Mario 64 first came out, people were sure that Luigi was hidden somewhere within the game, and it would have something to do with this statue. I mean, it literally says L is real. What else could that mean other than Luigi's in the game?
Come on, I'm never wrong about this stuff, okay? My virgin sense is going off the charts on this one.
Well, there's a couple problems with this here plaque. First of all, what the f does L is real 2401 even mean? A 2401 is a completely arbitrary number that has nothing to do with Mario 64, so how is it going to help you prove L is real? Second, the plaque may not even say L is real 2401 at all. A lot of people have read this to say Eternal Star, which doesn't really mean anything either, but at least it makes more sense considering this is a star statue. And third, and probably most importantly, literally the exact same texture for this plaque can be found in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
I'm ruined. Stupid virgin sense doesn't even stupid work.
This is just a generic texture for a statue. It doesn't say anything, and it doesn't mean anything. The only reason people think it says L is real 2401 at this point is because that's just what's been said for so long that your brain just sees what isn't there. There is a happy ending to this story, however, because in July 2020, a beta of Super Mario 64 leaked online, and upon looking through it, people discovered both a model and voice clips for Luigi, proving that he was playing for the game, but was scrapped at some point during development.
Aha! I told you! I'm never wrong about this stuff!
The mystery of L is real is just spread around at this point for no other reason than it's just a fun, harmless urban legend, and it also sends kids and new players on a wild goose chase. I should know, I'm one of those kids who fell for it. Kinda. See, in 2004, Super Mario 64 was ported to the Nintendo DS with a whole slew of changes and additions. Most notably, new playable characters. Now, instead of just playing as Mario, you could also play as Yoshi, Wario, and even Luigi, finally joining Super Mario 64 after 8 long years. But it's with this port that the L is real mystery was sort of reborn, because if you look at this roster of playable characters, you might notice it feels like someone's missing.
Oh, come on, no Birdo!
Waluigi, who's pretty much always appeared alongside his counterpart Wario, wasn't here. So naturally, the next logical step is to begin a brand new, equally fruitless quest to find him. Which I was a part of. I don't know, I was like 8 years old, a friend told me Waluigi was in the game, gave some arbitrary list of instructions to find him, and I completely fell for it.
Listen, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I may be stupid.
Speaking of hoaxes that fool every 10-year-old in existence, let's completely jump subjects and take a look at Minecraft. You know Minecraft, one of the most popular and the best-selling game of all time. It's relaxing, it's fun, it's a great time with friends, it's got a massive community, it's haunted by the creator's dead brother.
Sorry, what?
The myth of Herobrine is one of the most well-known urban legends in all of video games. If you've played Minecraft, there's a good chance you've heard about Herobrine. The legend goes that the creator of Minecraft's dead brother somehow is still alive within the game, corrupting players' worlds and even attacking players directly using a variation of the default Stave skin but with fully white eyes.
And the good news is, he definitely doesn't exist.
It's one of the most famous hoaxes out there, despite most people already knowing it's fake. I mean, Minecraft's creator never even had a brother, so already this story completely falls apart. It's more of just a horror story to scare new younger players of Minecraft. There's all these different accounts of what he could do, there's something you could build that allegedly spawns him, none of which is actually true, but it's still just fun to perpetuate the myth. And speaking of horror stories, a lot of hoaxes actually take the form of horror stories, or creepypastas as they're referred to on the internet.
I have no idea.
They revolve around taking a certain game, then saying how some poor, unsuspecting victim found it and learned it was haunted or had weird things going on with it, and then they go insane or whatever. There are a lot of popular creepypastas, the aforementioned Herobrine, Sonic.exe, Polybius, every copy of Mario 64 is personalized, creepy anti-piracy screens and games. Those last two are actually pretty recent, both taking off in 2020. Which is interesting that we still even get hoaxes like this, since a good majority are more products of the early 2010s.
But at the same time, I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because like I said before, it's just fun having little mysteries that are seemingly unexplainable, but also very easily debunked. Because two, it's now easier than ever for someone to go into a game's files and see everything that is or isn't there. That just makes it so hoaxes like L is real just wouldn't get the same amount of attention if it was introduced today, because literally anyone could go into Mario 64's files and see Luigi isn't in it. Which means giving the excuse of paranormal activity at least makes your story a little more believable. Even if it isn't actually believable in any way. But that's enough about creepypastas, because I feel like it's a unique enough topic from normal hoaxes that we could definitely try picking it back up another day. In terms of regular hoaxes that aren't aimed at giving kids nightmares, I feel like you get the gist. On the one hand, you have people trying to pass their fan-made stuff off as official, and on the other hand, you have the ones that are making hoaxes that are barely even trying to be real. At the end of the day, the hoaxes and fake leaks are essentially harmless. They do give something people to talk about before they get disproven, and when they finally are disproven, it's just more of a mild annoyance than anything. So you know what? After looking through all these hoaxes, I think I might be ready to try making one of my own again. The hoax is that you thought another hoax was coming. Ha! I got you! Woo! Ha! You must feel so stupid right now! Woo! I am the greatest ever! Never need to make another hoax again! I'm a quill on the head! Woo!